Hello, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, buenos días, buenas tardes, depending on where you are in the world. I'm Gabriel Gonsalves, and I'm broadcasting this weekly art stream from the beautiful city of Granada in the south of Spain after having arrived just a few hours ago from the south of Portugal, where I've been for the past 6 days or so. I went away on a weekend retreat with some friends and had really a fantastic time. I was down in the south of Portugal, in the beautiful region of Algarve that got its name from the Arabic. It's the lower part of Portugal, obviously very close to Morocco. That was under Arabic occupation, and it's really amazing the influence of the Arabic culture, not only in the people and the customs in the south of both Spanish and Portugal, but it's really beautiful, beautiful beaches. So as you can see, I'm a bit tan and still a bit tired from the trip, but feel really, really grateful for having had the opportunity to spend some really wonderful times in company of really amazing, beautiful friends and making new friends as well. Hello, Roger. Hello, Mariette. Hello, Cindy. Hello, Veronica. Hello, Sue, Ellen, PJ. And welcome, those of you who are just joining us right now. How are you? What's goed en niet met jou vandaag? It is Afrikaans for what's good and new with you today. Hello, Jennifer. Yeah. So, if you recall, we've been on this ongoing exploration of the 9 heart virtues. So today we continue on these beautiful guided meditations of a set of 12. All right, we have began 9 weeks already. My goodness, when we began to explore the very first heart virtue, appreciation. And today it's time to explore virtue number 9. Which is the virtue of freedom, which is, I believe, probably one of my favorite ones. And the reason I say that because it's not only a virtue of the heart, but it also corresponds to one of my core 3 values in life. My core 3 values in life are love, creativity, and freedom. So freedom, it's a very important aspect that I take into consideration when making important decisions about project and what to dedicate my time to. Hello, Moon Goddess. Welcome. Welcome. Good morning from Fedra out in San Antonio. Buenos dias, Fedra. Hello, Tina from Denmark. Welcome. Irish, I'm actually miss seeing your face and listening to your beautiful tone of voice and timbre of voice. I wonder what color your hair is these days. When we initiated the series of weekly guided meditations, and we were doing them in a way that I could actually see some of you in this inner circle, I remember that Irish would always show up with a slightly different color of hair. Speaking about freedom, she really exercised her freedom of expressing her colors, her true colors through her hair. Purple and blue, she says. All right, I can see that. Purple and blue. Hello, Anne-Marie. Hello, Mags. Welcome. Welcome, those of you who are joining us right now. So yes, freedom, freedom, freedom. One of the things that's really interesting about this word freedom, at least from the English perspective, is that the English version of the word freedom, because if you speak Spanish, the word in Spanish is libertad. But the English version actually comes from the German frei, which means beloved. It's actually an expression of love, a way in which you address somebody, which actually becomes really important in terms of expressing our love towards those that are close to us, that we love. That sounded kind of redundant, right? Expressing the love being towards those we love. But in essence, freedom as it relates to other people is a capacity to say, hey, because I love you, I give you the freedom to be yourself, to express yourself, for you not to have to change or be different in order to make me happy. So what does it mean to be freedom? Well, obviously, what does it mean to be free? Sorry. It means different things to a lot of people. But as a virtue of the heart, I want you to consider that it's the capacity to make choices from your will with regards to who, what, where, etc., to be, to do, or to have. It's the capacity to make choices from your will without any kind of obstacles or restraints. That is the essence. If you look up the word in the dictionary, it means without obstacles or restraints. Let me ask you to do a brief exercise right now. Okay. You know how sometimes when I guide these meditations, I offer you the invitation to breathe in a specific pattern with me. All right, so let me give you a pattern to breathe with, okay? This is all in preparation for today's guided meditation on freedom. And so let's breathe with a 4-beat count so that we inhale on a 4-beat and exhale on 4 beats. Can we do that? So inhaling in 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. And now let's change it to 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Let's change it to 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1 and 2. And now just breathe freely. Let go of this restraint I gave you. And for the next few moments, just breathe freely. Now, as you breathe freely and naturally, notice the difference in how you feel. Notice how you felt when there was the constraint of breathing to a specific pattern. Notice what happened as the constraint became tighter or shorter, how you felt. And then notice right now that feeling. So what you are experiencing right now is the feeling at the level of the senses of what freedom feels like in the body. So as we go into today's guided meditation, I'm going to invite you to summon this feeling, this sensation of like choose how I want to breathe, and choose to breathe without any form of constraints, without any limitations. to allow your body to breathe you, or to allow the divine to breathe through you, the energy that moves through you, is in essence to align with the natural rhythm or the natural freedom of life. And can very oftentimes lead to a feeling of love, something that feels very much like love. One of the things that oftentimes happens is whenever we've been working long hours in front of a computer or focus on a task, the breath starts to become very constricted. Right? We begin to breathe shallow. We start breathing deep down into the stomach, and then the head, the neck, and the shoulders become very tight and tense, leading to the cutting of the circulation of the blood from the head, from the neck, to the brain. So literally, we begin to deprive our brains from oxygen. Our hearts have to work harder then to pump more blood and more oxygen through the rest of the body. And so we feel a sense of heaviness, cloudy thinking. And then what happens? The moment when you decide, I need to get a fresh breath of air. Or if you smoke, when you tell yourself like, I need to go for a smoke. And then what happens at that moment? You go outside, and if you smoke, you light up a cigarette. And then what's the first thing you do? You go, and you let out like this big sigh, right? And then suddenly the breath becomes nice, long, deep, and free. And there you go. You recuperate that sense of freedom after all these constraints working on this project or whatever it was that you told yourself you needed to finish or do. This feeling, this sensation I learned when I was doing my training as a heart math coach does not come from the actual cigarette or from whatever it is that you smoke, but it actually comes from the deep breath that you're taking into your lungs and into the heart, and then the release or letting go of all this excess tension around the neck, the head, and the shoulders. All right, and so at that moment, the restraints that had been imposed were released and let go little by little. And what a better way than to practice experiencing this feeling of freedom than using the power of our breath, the capacity to breathe freely. So here's the invitation as we go into today's guided meditation. Can you think about 2 or 3 things right now that you would love to either do, be, or have, but for whatever reason, you feel restricted, you feel restrained for whatever reason? Perhaps is you want to start some kind of a project, or you want to buy something, and you tell yourself, well, I can't because I don't have money, because I would really like to be able to do that, have that, but I don't have money. The moment you begin to say, I don't have this, I can't, or I should not, at that moment, you begin to then experience literally those restraints I was speaking about earlier. So just bring 2 or those 3 things to mind. And it could be simply something such as, I like to have more money, more prosperity, more abundance. But for some reason, I feel I can't make it happen. I don't know how to. What restrains me is perhaps I don't know how to ask for the money. I don't, or I may feel like I don't deserve it, or I just don't know how to go about it. Okay. Can you think of 3 things? Because I'm going to invite you to bring those 3 things, okay, so that we can work with those things and actually use the power of our creative imagination, the power of our emotions, the power of our words, the power of the abracadabra, which is Sanskrit for I create by the power of the word, and the power of intention to release and let go of whatever it is that you feel it's restraining you. Can you love yourself that? All right, before we start this guided meditation, let me say hello to Ben. Hello, Ben. Welcome. Laila or Lila, Angelia, those of you who are joining us right now, hello. Thank you again for being here today. All right, let us begin then. And again, the invitation is before we start for you to think about 3 things that you would like to either be, do, or have more of. But for whatever reason, you feel some kind of a restraint or block, something that is keeping you from having that which you seek. So we can then surrender and let it go and experience the sense of freedom, okay? The sense of freedom. I've noticed in my own life that whenever I wanted to change a situation, right, where I felt I could not have something, or I felt undeserving of something, I felt that or I discovered that if first, regardless of external conditions, I could bring myself into alignment with that feeling, that vibration, or this virtue of freedom, I begin to associate this inner sense of freedom with regards to already having this thing, being this thing, doing this thing. That would immediately change how I felt about this possibility. And it was this inner change in feeling what would then create an inner change of perception. And then out of this inner sense of perception, then a way would be made that would allow then for this thing to be experienced or to be manifested. So what I'm saying in essence is we want to create an inner shift of awareness at the level of the feeling that will then lead to a perception, which will then lead to literally a change on the outside of the condition. So we are in essence creating this shift outside by first creating it inside of ourselves. It's the process of what I call manifesting from the heart. All right. And when you begin to work that way, one of the things that happens is very often the condition hasn't changed yet, but your perception of it, how you feel about it, changes. And it is from this change or this shift in awareness of perception and feeling, and then obviously over time the condition changes. What do I mean by that? Just to give you a quick example. I remember when I first moved to South Africa and I lost money, the career that I previously had, and I was in essence flat broke financially. I don't remember ever in my life like feeling so poor and lacking. Obviously, I had lost everything when I moved to South Africa, and I had this constant feeling that I can't do this. I feel restrained. I want to do this, but I can't. I don't have the money. I don't have this. I don't have this. I was quite focused on that. And what I began to do then was I began to work at the inner level of my awareness of the feelings and sensations and look for ways in which I could evoke this feeling of freedom and then also find the freedom. One of the things I realized when I started to do this, I asked myself, well, money equals freedom, right? For the majority of us, money equals freedom. But I began to develop this awareness that having no money also equals freedom, right? Because when you don't have any money, then you don't have to worry about money. When you have money, you do worry a lot about money. You know, a lot of people I work with, people who are exceedingly wealthy, and the more money they seem to have is like the more they worry about losing it. So what if then you could begin to see the apparent lack of money also as an invitation to also to be free from having to worry about money. And so as I began to cultivate this feeling of, well, if I don't have it, then I can just I'm actually free from it, and began to cultivate this feeling of freedom within me. Even though the external conditions were still the same, I was still flat broke, but something began to happen inside of me where I was relaxed about it. I did not perceive it anymore as a bad or a negative thing. It did no longer feel like a constraint. Quite the opposite. it felt good not to have it. Didn't have to worry about it. I went for long walks, right? Began to see the abundance everywhere out in nature. Began to focus on all the things that I could do that brought me joy. And so it was from this feeling of joy, this freedom, and then creative ideas began to emerge. And then I started acting out on those ideas. So at the very beginning, money was still not coming in, but the way that I was feeling had changed. And it was out of this way of feeling that new conditions, new opportunities began to show themselves. And then suddenly, boom, money began to roll back in again. So we oftentimes have the tendency to think of in this particular case, when we're talking about money and the freedom that having abundant supply of money brings, we have the tendency to believe that it is because I have money that I am free. Well, what if you could actually look at it the opposite way? It is because I feel free, I feel creative, I feel open and receptive to new ideas. I feel confident that I can then create the money that I need. I can welcome, and can find new possibilities and new opportunities to create wealth, to attract wealth, to share my wealth, to recognize the wealth of the cosmos everywhere in different areas of my life. So that's what we're looking for. We're looking for creating this inner shift of awareness. All right. Welcome, Amanda. Lovely to have you here. And 3 devil women. Welcome you. Welcome those of you who are joining us right now as well. All right. Let's move then into this guided meditation on freedom. Connecting with this beloved principle, living within the heart as a virtue of the heart, that we may grow in our capacity to experience a greater sense of freedom, so that we can then attract or create more of what we want to, without any restraints, without any forms of limitation. Wow, 1717. Okay, I didn't really understand what that meant, but you'll have to explain that to me, Irish. All right, let us begin. If you haven't already done so, please place your feet on the ground and bring the awareness now to the middle of the chest by placing a hand over the heart. And for the next few moments, just feel the pulsating beat of your heart, your pulse. That is right here and right now expressing its own natural freedom. Your heart beats with freedom at its own rate. You may be able to control your breath, but your heart, you can't really tell it how to beat. You can use the power of your breath, sure, to influence the heartbeat. But for the next few moments, just be with a natural, free heartbeat within you. Allow your breath also to match your heartbeat's capacity to be free, freely breathing in and out of the heart. As you breathe freely in and out of the heart, you relax the head, the neck, the shoulders. creating the conditions so that the blood, life force energy can flow freely through your upper torso. Letting go of unnecessary tension in your stomach area, the pelvic area, the area around your reproductory organs. Freeing up any tension in the legs and the arms. Offering a softening, letting go of all these restraints that oftentimes happens as a result of our daily activities. Exercising our freedom to be here now, focus on this never-ending awareness of this moment, your heart beating with freedom. Every breath into the heart, liberating you from unnecessary tension, constraints in the body. In the name of the Father, the Mother, the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. And speaking on behalf of every person here today during this life guided meditation and anyone who's listening to the replay, I connect, align, and unify my heart to the heart of God, the central sun, the heart of the cosmos. And declare my heart, the living temple of God's freedom. Light of freedom from the heart of God, fill my heart, my mind, my body, my soul. Freedom, forgiving light of God. Abide within me. Liberate me of all self-imposed limitations, all constraints I've put around myself. That I may be a greater instrument or vehicle for God's will. Recognizing that God's will is always the highest possibility for my life. Therefore, I am the capacity to choose the highest possibility for my life. I am God's freedom in me to choose who to be, to choose what to do, to choose what to have or enjoy according to the highest possibility and the greater will of God. Know that right here and right now, I am one with this infinite realm of infinite possibilities, divine possibilities for my life. Freedom, freedom, freedom. Fully inhabiting every atom, every molecule, every cell of my body. Freedom, 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 spreading like wings around my heart. Freedom, 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 liberating my mind from my own or other people's self-imposed limitations. Freedom, 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 liberating my body of pain. I am the presence of divine freedom in me. I am God's freedom in me here and now. And so it is, and it is so. Amen. like to invite you to bring into your mind's eye a memory of a time in your life or an experience that you had where you felt absolutely free. Free to be yourself. Free to enjoy something. It doesn't matter what that memory is. What's important is that you activate that feeling, that you remember what freedom feels like in the body. See yourself going through the motions of whatever it was that you were doing at that moment in your life that was generating such a delightful feeling of freedom. And feel especially that freedom now, here, this moment. With every breath that you take into your heart, allow this feeling of freedom to begin to glow and expand from around your heart and out through the lungs, the throat, the head. This feeling of freedom also extend out to the shoulders. Continue to offer an opening and a softening. Remembering what freedom feels like in the body at the level of the senses, and remembering what freedom feels like in the body as a feeling. Now, without losing this feeling of freedom, please bring now into your mind's eye one or two or these three items that I asked you at the very beginning to think of. 3 things in your life that you like to be, do, or have, but for whatever reason, you feel limited, you feel constrained. So see yourself, for example, being that which you seek to be. At this time, offer that image, this feeling. See yourself having that. And as you see yourself in your mind's eye, offer yourself this feeling. If at any time you lose the feeling of freedom, we'll simply bring the memory again and then activate the feeling again. It's okay if you lose the feeling, not a big deal. Simply go back and harness that feeling again and then offer it again. As you hold that mental picture of you being this goal, this vision, doing it, having it, please repeat after me. I am the capacity for freedom. I am the freedom to choose this. I am the freedom to act in this direction. I am freedom in me now. I am the freedom to choose who I want to be. I am the freedom to choose what I want to do. I am the freedom to choose what I want to have. Freedom flows from me and freedom returns to me. Freedom is my divine birthright. I am freedom in me now. I choose to create freedom from freedom. I am free to be myself. I am God's freedom in me and in others. I am God's love expressed as freedom. See yourself attaining this goal, this vision. Offer a softening within the heart. We continue to radiate this feeling of freedom. As you hold that image in your mind, affirm, I am the freedom to choose this. I deserve this. I am this. I give and receive freely and without constraints. I am the freedom to create the life and relationships I want. It is so, and so it is. We pray not for freedom, but from freedom, from the feeling of freedom, that we may be, do, or have whatever our heart's desires may be, as an act of love towards ourselves, giving others out of love for them the same freedom to be themselves, to choose who they want to be, letting go of the need or the attachment of wanting to change somebody so that you can feel free, letting go of the attachment, the illusion, and anything else that is keeping you from fully embracing others as they are, embracing their divinity, embracing their wholeness, and embracing their sovereign right also, just like you, to choose freely from their hearts. In the name of Jesus the Christ, in the name of Gautama the Buddha, in the name of the holies of holies, I let go of all internal blocks to experiencing my own sovereign freedom. I let go of the past. I let go of any kind of experience or people in my life who may have wounded me, traumatized me, hurt me, and helped contribute to a mindset of lack mentality, restriction. Setting myself free and setting others free. Letting God be God in my life as freedom. Letting God be God in others' lives as their individual freedom to choose. Letting go and letting God. Letting go and letting freedom now begin to direct my life, my decisions, my choices, my actions. Out of love for my brothers, my sisters, my partners, my friends, I extend to them the freedom to be themselves. Fully, wholly, and completely taking ownership of my divine right to be free. And so it is, and it is so. Amen. See yourself now surrounded by a giant sphere of freedom where you can be, do, or have anything your heart truly desires. See yourself dancing freely without pain. See yourself loving freely without fear. See yourself giving, receiving freely with confidence and trust. Little by little, allow this sphere now to expand beyond you, to also include your friends, your family, extending that same divine right to freedom. Let freedom be freedom in their lives. Setting yourself free from judgment, setting yourself free from criticism, setting yourself free from the need or desire to want to control and manipulate others so that you can feel good. setting yourself and setting others free as you continue to allow this sphere to grow even wider and bigger, radiating this vibration of freedom out to the world, liberating people everywhere around the planet from malicious hypnotism, from mechanisms of control imposed by our society, our media. See people breaking the shackles of their own self-imposed limitations and the limitations that were imposed by their parents, some adult caretakers, as a result of trauma, wounding. Send out a vibration of freedom that allows every sentient being to be delivered or freed from any sense of burden or limitation, any suffering, any sickness. Releasing a very sacred prayer, which is the prayer of the Bodhisattvas. May all sentient beings be free of suffering and sickness. May all sentient beings be free of pain and fear. May all sentient beings be free to be themselves, to remember who they are. May all sentient beings be free to hold hands, share their love, and sing and dance to the rhythm of their hearts. May all sentient beings be free. We ask for this with all our hearts, that God may be glorified in every heart as freedom. Heavenly Father, thank you for the gift of freedom. The freedom to choose out of our own will, human will, our actions. The freedom to make better choices. The freedom to act on our inner wisdom. The freedom to correct any behavior or habit that is creating pain, lack, or suffering. The freedom to forgive ourselves, to forgive others. The freedom to remember at any moment, in any place where we may be, that freedom. It's not only one of the names of God, one of the qualities of God, but it's also one of the virtues of our own heart. hearts that individually and collectively long to sing and dance to the divine rhythm of the sacred song of the universe. Give yourself permission now to freely extend your arms as if you were waking up from a very deep sleep, and gently open your eyes and return once again to the full awareness of our time together, remembering that the capacity to activate this feeling, irrespective of your external conditions, is what will allow you to experience those conditions that up until now you felt were out of your reach or impossible. Irish wrote something. What did Irish write? She said, "Oh, Gabs, awesome. And for second time within one, your meditation, Mother Mary, very strong presence here surrounding me." Okay, beautiful. Ben says, "This is exactly what my soul needed at this time." Thank you, Gabriel. You're welcome, Ben. Thank you for being here with us, activating this, and also being vehicles so that we could collectively radiate this vibration of freedom or prayer of freedom for humanity. Deborah says, "This topic is the answer I just asked for before coming on the stream today, resulting in direction and focus." Thank you, Deborah. Sue says, "Thank you for your lightness." You're very welcome. Mariette says, "The freedom to sing at my heart leadership graduation. I enjoy feeling my heart song." Yes, Mariette was also a graduate of the most recent class of the Heart Leader Training Program. Thank you, Mariette. I enjoy very much working with you. Mag says, "Thank you, Gary." Gary? I guess that's... Am I Gary? Well, I guess you're on a guided meditation on freedom. You're free to call me anything you want. Thank you, Gabs. That was a true divine gift from God. You're a divine channel of love. You're very welcome, Max. Elizabeth says, "One of the best meditations I've done." You're welcome. Jennifer says, "I needed these as well, crying deeply and cleansing." Thank you, Gabriel, with gratitude, appreciation, and love. You're welcome. You're very welcome. So remember that you are the capacity to choose freedom. That even though you may be feeling there's different constraints on the external world of form and reality, the outer world is an expression or a manifestation of the inner world, of essence or energy, vibration, whatever you want to call it, intention. I don't care what you call it. What I care, what my biggest concern is that you know that within you is a capacity to activate this feeling, change the vibrational frequency, and then allow a new way to be made on the outside as a result of this inner realization. This is your divine birthright. This is, in essence, the Holy Christ self within you, creating from within you, creating from a place of freedom. Moon Goddess says, "It was the memory of when he and I would get together outside on full moon night or in a wide open space. We would embrace and yell out loud, 'I am magnificent.'" Yeah, that's beautiful. I know Moon Goddess is referring, obviously, to her divine counterpart. Beautiful. Yeah. For me, the memory that always comes up in terms of freedom is I have a recurrent dream of flying. I've had it since I was a child. And then I experienced for many years. I was a scuba diver. If you ever gone scuba diving, once you reach that neutral buoyancy threshold, it's the closest thing I think to like flying, an absolute sense of being at one with everything and the freedom to move in any way or any direction. Obviously, you have the constraints that you got to breathe because you're in the water with the tank, but nonetheless, what's important is just remembering the feeling. Right? We are creating, in essence, using these four manifestation powers. Okay, the power of our creative imagination. We're using also the power of our spoken word. We're using the power of our emotion. That's where this is so important that we use then the power of the heart. And then we're using the power of the will through action, through taking action. All right, so we want to, in essence, kind of like follow that sequence. All right, you want to see it in your inner eye, see yourself experiencing whatever it is that you want. Then bring in your throat chakra by speaking it into being. And speaking it from the emotion that you associate with the wish already fulfilled. And then followed by the action. Okay, so from that space of freedom, then make a better choice. Act from freedom, act from joy. You know, whatever it is. Those are the four manifestation powers that were also part of our divine inheritance. And they represent in many ways your divine power as a creator, as unified expressions of God. Angelia Santiago says, my memory was being back home on my isla, enjoying the mountains backgrounds and feeling the cool breeze of the campo air. Oh, what a beautiful memory. Ben says flying dreams are his favorites. Yeah, I know. There's something about that. Those dreams that they stay with you, don't they? Yeah. Amanda says, thank you, Gabriel. Beautiful. I choose a little more freedom. Well, I would invite you to choose a whole lot more of freedom, or to choose from freedom. All right, guys, gals, thank you once again for lending me your hearts, your ears, your time on the middle of the week. Wherever you are in the world, I send you blessings of love and freedom on this day, with a heart filled with gratitude for your presence here today and your willingness to continue to show up week after week, week after week, for the purpose of not only helping raise your vibrational frequency, heal, release what is no longer serving you, but also unifying our hearts that we may also be of service to humanity by radiating these positive vibes out into the world, helping, in essence, co-create a world where there's greater freedom, individual and collective freedom, to create a world that works for everybody. Thank you, Irish. Thank you, Zoo. Thank you, Amanda, Jelly, Ben, Three Devil Women, Mags. Thank you, Cindy. Thank you, Ellen, Elizabeth. Thank you, Mariette. Thank you, Animation Person. You know who you are. Thank you, Lila. I'm going through some of the names. I want to make sure that I don't leave anybody out. I think, and PJ. PJ, you know who you are too. Well, I now know who you are. All right. Thank you once again for hanging out with me this Wednesday. Until we connect again, please receive my love, a big hug from the south of Spain. And I send you all my love from my heart to yours. Bye-bye for now.